Hello, welcome to Metal Gear Armory LLC in Lockbourne, Ohio. If you have any questions, you can reach us at sales@metalgeararmory.com. We're here today to examine this little receiver. It was brought to us by a customer. It's having a few mechanical issues. The mechanical issue it's having is that it is following down. The disconnector is not capturing the hammer and is letting it follow down with the bolt as it goes closed. Resulting in a misfire. And I will demonstrate that for you. Right now it is in the cocked position, and if I pull the trigger it will fire. Put my finger here to keep it from smacking the receiver. Okay, that's normal function. With the finger still on the trigger pulled, the bolt cycles, secondary disconnector locks onto the hammer until you are ready for your next shot. Now for your next shot you must release your finger very slowly, and it should catch just like this. That will allow you to take the second follow-up shot. That's normal function. What this lower is doing is a follow down, which looks something more like this. The hammer is cocked, my finger is still pulled on the trigger, it won't go rearwards no further, and I'm going to let this out super slow. Just going to whack my finger. See how it let all the way up? Should not do that. This is normal function. This is what it's doing. Yep. See what it's doing? Do it again. See what it's doing? It should not do that. That's illegal. This is what it should do. So you can pull the second again, and this is what it's doing. That's what it's doing. In order to fix that, what we're going to do, punch out the hammer pin, punch out the trigger pin, move your components. What is wrong with this trigger? This is not holding on to the hammer right here long enough. And what we're going to do to fix that is engage how long it holds on. And we're going to do that by filing down just this little square piece on the disconnector. Not very much. We're going to do it on a band sander to make sure it's flat, uniform, just as it is now. We're not going to work through any of the hardening on the metal. This is a case hardened piece of steel, and we don't want it to wear under thousands of rounds of cycling in the firearm. We just want it to hold on and catch the way it's supposed to. So we're going to take it over to the band sander now and modify this piece. Okay, we are back at the belt sander here. We're going to modify this little piece. This is just going to take a couple of quick licks here. It's going to be noisy. And that's all we're going to take off, and then we're going to try it and see how it works. Back over to the bench. Okay, so now we're back at the bench, and we're going to reassemble this. Installing your trigger first. Getting it to drop in the hole correctly. Then you want to install the disconnector that we just modified. Line up your holes. Start your pin through. You have to push down on the disconnector just a little bit to get it to line up. Sometimes they are a little tricky. You can use your punch from the other side to help line it up and guide it through. You look at the other side on the alignment. It's good to use your eyeballs. That's why we're given to them. Put the hammer in. Again, push it in. And line up your holes. See how easy it is when you look? You really shouldn't have to drive these pins in. If you are, you're doing something wrong. So now we'll go ahead and test function this to make sure we've corrected it. If we haven't, the same procedure applies. We're going to take it back to the band sander and modify that piece just as I did, just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and check it for regular function here. So we're going to fire. Bolt's going to cycle, recocking the firearm. Finger still on the trigger. We're going to let go slowly and it should catch, which is good. Now we can go ahead and pull and fire that second shot. Bolt cycles again. And let's see if we can go extra super slow and make it malfunction. It should not be able to. I'm going to go super, super slow. That's good. That means looks like we corrected this issue. Maybe even slower still. Oh, nope. See there? We're going to need a little bit more, because now I have to super, super slow-mo to get that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it back over to the belt sander and hit it just a couple more licks until we can take out that last little bit of missing engagement that we have. So again, the punch, pull out the hammer pin, take out the trigger assembly pin, take out the disconnector, the hammer, and we're going to take this back over to the band sander and hit it, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back at the bench again with this lower build, and I had to go back to the band sander an additional 2 times over the first time that I went back to remove some more metal off of the disconnector. The additional 2 times that I went back to the band sander, I removed less metal than I did the first time that I was there. And it's very important that you go slow when you're removing metal. It's very easy to take it off and make it right. It gets difficult when you got to add it back on and then trim it down and make it right. Plus, in this instance, you'd wind up buying a new disconnector and just starting all over. So let's double check this for function and make sure everything's good now. So we're going to start with trigger pulled as if you had fired the gun. We have a follow down. Bolt cycles, cocks a hammer, and that's what it's supposed to do. If you remember before what it was doing, it was just letting the hammer fall down. Let's see if we can induce that symptom now. And I'm going to go super, super slow to see if we can make that happen. That's as slow as I can go. Do it again. Trying to keep out the hand trimmer. Yep, I cannot make this malfunction again. That's going to be a good safe trigger. It's not going to follow down. Feels like a good safe release on it. Let's check it for being positive. What I mean by positive is whenever you pull the trigger and the hammer is cocked, you want the hammer to cock more before it releases, and that's what makes it a positive trigger. So let's check for that. Again, you're going to watch this hammer is going to lower in the receiver before it releases, and that will be a positive trigger. See it again. Very slow. Did you see it cam back? It's very minute, but it does do it. Cams back just a little bit. I don't know if I can make it any clearer than that. See it drop back just a little bit before it releases? That's a good positive trigger. This is going to be good to go now. Stick in any firearm. Should be safe to function. And there's another happy customer. Again, if you need to reach us for any questions or comments on your own firearms, it's sales@metalgeararmory.com. We will answer you in the best form that we can and service any special needs that you may have. Thanks for viewing.